Suddenly, about 9 o'clock in the evening, Edmund heard a hollow sound in the wall against which he was lying. So many loathsome animals inhabited the prison that their noise did not, in general, awake him. But whether abstinence had quickened his faculties, or whether the noise was actually louder than usual, Edmund raised his head and listened. It was a continual scratching as if made by a huge claw, a powerful tooth, or some iron instrument attacking the stones. Although weakened, the young man's brain instantly responded to the idea that haunts all prisoners: liberty. It seemed to him that heaven had at length taken pity on him, and had sent this noise to warn him on the very brink of the abyss. Perhaps one of those beloved ones that he had so often thought of was thinking of him, and striving to diminish the distance that separated them. No, no. Doubtless he was deceived, and it was but one of those dreams that forerun death. Edmund still heard the sound. It lasted nearly 3 hours. Then he heard a noise of something falling, and all was silent. Some hours afterward it began again, nearer and more distinct. Edmund was intensely interested. Suddenly the jailer entered. For a week since he had resolved to die, and during the 4 days that he had been carrying out his purpose, Edmund had not spoken to the attendant, had not answered him when he inquired what was the matter with him, and turned his face to the wall when he looked too curiously at him. But now the jailer might hear the noise and put an end to it, and so destroy a ray of something like hope that soothed his last moments. The jailer brought him his breakfast. Dante raised himself up and began to talk about everything, about the bad quality of the food, about the coldness of the dungeon, grumbling and complaining in order to have an excuse for speaking louder and wearying the patience of his jailer, who out of kindness of heart had brought broth and white bread for his prisoner. And there it is, our turning point, I hope. This is the moment when Dante is on the brink of the abyss, as Dumas refers to it. And if we want to talk about evocative description and the way Dumas is writing this, Dante and his prison cell have become kind of a coffin. This is a tomb of sorts, and Dante is just slowly withering away until he becomes the remains that will occupy the tomb for the rest of time. However, the noise becomes a beacon of hope, I think he called it. It is something to distract him or bring him light. Dante isn't quite ready to commit that this is a turning point for himself, but he looks at it as a distraction, a happiness, a something in his final moments, a gift from the heavens to guide him to the abyss and to the last of his resolve. However, it continues. It goes on for 3 hours, and he is so enamored and interested and curious about this noise that he sustains himself by pondering over it. Is it a rodent? Is it something digging? Is it something gnawing? It sounds like it could potentially be iron. Well, as far as I know, no rodents or animals have iron teeth. So that's peculiar. I mean, as readers, we need to kind of earmark that as, well, what could be happening in Dante's kind of hallucinatory final moments here. I don't know what he's thinking. But just to kind of bring you really into where he's at, he has that fleeting moment of okay, because I feel like this is going to be important for where I think the character is going. He has that fleeting, like, oh, wait, this is liberty. Someone is coming for me. One of my beloved ones, Daddy Dante, in his enfeebled state, is digging beneath the prison to free me. Or Mercedes, I guess it'd just be those two. Who else? Maybe Morel has hired a team of his shipmates to dig him out of the Chateau d'If. Scuba divers going deep sea off the coast of the Chateau d'If, digging deep and finding the exact cell that Dante is in so that they can escort him out. I'm thinking Thunderball style, where they have those little masks and scuba tanks that they can float through the sea. This is a weird tangent. Anyway, he has that fleeting moment where he's like, maybe that's what's happening. And then he says, no, that can't possibly be. That is just the delusion of prisoners. That is not the reality. What this is instead is just a gift from the heavens to distract me in my final moments, to guide me perhaps to the other side. And so what I think makes that important for the character moving forward is that he's no longer allowing himself the dalliances of fantasy. Like, this is the moment he becomes a realist. Like, not necessarily a cynic, but like, no, I'm losing my youthful naivete. This is where I'm like, I can't hold on to those ridiculous fantasies. There's no way that is a family member coming to set me free. This is something else. I don't know what it is, but I'm fascinated by it. I don't want it to stop. And therefore, it gives him the energy, finally, to engage with his jailers. As it's stated, like, he has not talked to them at all. He's just resolved to die in peace and not give them one more iota of his dignity or attention. And here he's finally like, well, no, I want to know what this is. This is a gift from the heavens. Therefore, I need to protect it. And therefore, I have to continue this performance. What are they usually asking me? Oh yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, this food fucking sucks. I can't get any sleep in these conditions. This is awful. Blah 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 blah. What do you want to hear? I have to keep talking and talking loudly so that you can't hear the sound that I'm trying to protect and keep going. Well, yeah, so things just got interesting, and here I was prepared to talk to you about the Scarlet Pimpernel. But you know what? We got a long way to go, so I'm going to earmark that for another episode that we might need more distraction in. Let's just keep going with more of Chapter 5, as we are almost in the center of it at this point. Like I said, this is a long one, so hang in there with me as we keep going forward in Chapter 5. Oh, I did want to mention this. If you're still listening, if you're still here, if you are following along day after day, like every new episode, every day, if that's what you're doing and you're confused by Chapter 15, that's not your fault. And that's not Dumas' fault. That is Landon's fault. I got a little jumbled when I was publishing the episodes, and I think Chapter 15 Part 2 and 3, maybe 4, got flipped around. So if it was a little out of order and you're like, what is happening? That's what's up. I have fixed it. If you go into the podcatchers or YouTube now, it is in the correct order. But that's just a note for you who are following along day after day. So if in that last half a week window you experience some confusion, that's on me. But we will pay closer attention moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, let's do that tomorrow with more of the Count of Monte Cristo. I'll see you here. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.